stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Let's see. Thank you all for coming to the open session meeting today. While I adjust my mic. Can you hear me out there better? It's better? Good. All right, let's see. First on the agenda are announcements. First one is Happy New Year. Next is CC&R ballots. They are still outstanding and we are desperately short of where we need to be. In the Springdales, we are at 43% of ballots received. And in the community as a whole, we're at 60%. And to pass the amendments as they are, we need to have at least 67% say yes. So I'm sure that there are nay votes out there, which is perfectly fine, but we need to get way over 67% to even have a chance of passing. So starting next week, we're going to start coming door to door in a very friendly manner because we've spent about $10,000 on this for legal fees, postage, printing, staff time, and to just throw $10,000 away is not what we want to do. So if you haven't turned in your ballot, we have them up front, we have them in the back with Shannon. We'll be coming around, come on down to the lodge and fill it out, or if you haven't signed it, we've been calling you for the last couple weeks, so please come down and sign that ballot so that it can be counted. Next, I have speaking to the microphone. I don't think it's for me, but we've had people that can't hear when homeowners are up in homeowner forum, which is the next on the agenda. So when you do come up, there are a few speaker slips. If you could speak into the microphone, that would be spectacular. And then my monthly reminder to please slow down. The speed limit on Four Seasons Circle is 30 miles per hour. And the speed limit on all the side streets is 25. There's no passing. It's only one lane up and down each way. I know we have some passing going along. They've passed me going up the hill, but it's only one way on each side of the street, so please don't pass cars that are doing the speed limit. And with that, we'll move into homeowner input. As a reminder, it's limited to 3 minutes per homeowner, and only one request to speak form may be submitted per homeowner. There will be no sharing or passing of time to another person. Homeowner input will be held for a maximum period of 30 minutes before the board meeting begins to allow the board to proceed with the business portion of the meeting. This portion of the meeting is limited to board participation only. Residents are welcome and encouraged to stay for the full meeting to witness the business of the corporation taking place by your governing agents. And the first speaker is Larry Workman.
Good afternoon. My name is Larry Workman. I'm Tattlesall, 1529 Tattlesall. I sent this form a few months ago talking about Exhibit F when it was really a hot topic. And I noticed now that they have a new proposed Exhibit F that is about ready to be put out. And looking at it, it doesn't look like they've really done their homework. They've added a few comments. Basically, all they said is that if your backyard has an elevation change of 10 feet in the back, then this applies to you. Or actually, yeah, it applies to you. If you go through the community, there are dozens and dozens of homes in this community that have an elevation over 10 feet that should not be restricted as Exhibit F. Now, don't get me wrong. Those of you that have view lots, lots where you can look out through a grate type fence, I'm totally in agreement that the person below you should not put up plantings or anything that obstruct your view. However, those that have lots with an elevation change in the back and a center block wall in the back, facing a street or a Edison type utilities section, there's no restriction on whether you should have shrubbery and stuff that's only 2 feet high at the top of the slope or the base of the fence. There's no reason it shouldn't be able to go at least the height of that fence and maybe even more. So my comment is that the group that worked on the ad hoc committee for Exhibit F, I think they need to kind of get out of their cocoon a little bit, drive around the community, see some of these houses that have elevation changes in the back that should not be compliant with this. Also remember that just because a house is currently landscaped, that doesn't mean that what they want to change the landscape in the future, which they then have to get ARC approval for, are they going to be required to comply with those requirements? So when you're setting a set of rules, you got to set the rules for everybody, not just a specific group. And I'm going to turn into the committee. I spent about 15 minutes today, believe it, 15 minutes driving around and taking some pictures of probably 20, 25 homes that would not comply with Exhibit F. Thank you.
Thanks, Larry. I'll take it. Our next speaker slip is Barbara Moore.
I've come before the board several times over the last 6 years regarding traffic. I'm here again today. We have got to do something about the traffic going up and down Four Seasons Circle, because that's what I see the most. I understand by talking to one of the police officers that they were only giving warnings out, and mainly at the stop signs. We need these policemen to give tickets, hit them in the pocketbook, and make sure we get these speeders. Something has to be done before somebody gets killed.
Thank you, Barbara. And our last speaker slip is Lon Reed.
Good afternoon. My name is Lon Reed. I live at 1693 Clark Creek. I have some questions for the board. I hope that's okay.
Louder, please. Move the microphone up.
I have some questions for the board. I was in the library the other day, and I hear that they're going to put some shelving in the middle of the library. Could anybody comment on that?
Homeowner forum is normally not a back and forth discussion or questions. You can ask the questions and then I can get back to you at a later date.
But I've never had anybody get back to me when I ask a question. How come the board can't just answer my question?
If that's the case, it's right now it's on.
If you go to the CP&T committee, they are working that issue, and it's not elevated to the board yet.
Yeah. Okay, how about term limits? Who do I talk to about that?
Rules and regs.
Well, you're the president, Len. Can't you tell me?
What do you want me to tell you?
Does the board have term limits?
No.
Why is that?
Because there's no law or CCNR or rules and regs for term limits.
So you get on the board, you can stay as long as you want.
As long as the voters.
It's a vote of, Lon, it's a vote of every 2 years, we come up for election. And either we run or we don't. I mean, if we run, it's up to the community to either vote for us or chair for somebody.
Just so you know, I have gone to the meetings, okay? And I do raise questions, but they say, well, it goes to the board. And then I don't hear anything. So all I'm trying to do is figure out the process. The last time I came, there was some verbiage up there that I didn't understand. And I asked some questions. You didn't seem very happy about it, Len, but this is the only way we find out. None of us have, we haven't all lived here as long as you have. And so maybe a little patience and a little understanding and being a little more forthright with answers might help some of us. Thank you.
Seeing as there are no other speaker slips, we'll move on to the consent calendar. Purpose of the consent calendar is to make a single motion to approve all included items. If for a particular reason an item needs to be discussed or pulled from the consent calendar, then a call to remove that item should be made by a board member. In the consent calendar are the minutes from December 5th of last year, December 13th of last year, and December 17th of last year. There's no action on a CD or an investment plan. There's no liens or foreclosure items. Regarding homeowner facility use requests, there's the request on August 9th for the state of the city and October 5th for a wedding. And there's also a quilting enthusiast group to create. And that is all for the consent calendar. I need a motion or a call.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent calendar. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The association held an executive session meeting this morning. Delinquencies of 8-6 were paid in full prior to the meeting. Again, there were no lien or foreclosure items. We had 3 member hearings. Contracts renewed were the Pitney Bowes postage machine, the SAC music license, and the Springdale earthquake insurance for the next year from January 15th of this year to January 15th of next year. Board reviewed legal issues and personnel. Next on the agenda are committee reports. First is the ad hoc off-leash area.
Good afternoon, board. Good afternoon, neighbors. I'm Martha Baumgarten, chair of the ad hoc OLA Rules Committee. We're currently working on a mandatory user seminar content and processes by utilizing subgroups. We will be meeting on that content on Monday at our next meeting. We're excited to receive the feedback from the 30-day comment period, and I thank you all in this room who hopefully took part in that effort. We do have a proposal in front of the board today, and we'd like to emphasize that this is a proactive measure. We recognize that there are many milestones ahead, but this gives us the board's authority for a standing body with a charter that goes beyond the ad hoc committee's current mandate of focusing solely on rules. It provides for the how of managing the application process and other matters that will come to the forefront if and when this facility becomes a reality for the community. It puts in place a framework that will be necessary to coordinate with First Service Residential, other affected committees, and the board of directors to manage the off-leash area. Thank you. We also have a new member to propose. Kathy Thoreau has passed all the requirements, and we're looking for approval of Kathy on the ad hoc off-leash rules committee.
I'd like a motion to approve Kathy Thoreau for the ad hoc off-leash rules committee.
Moved and seconded to approve Kathy Thoreau as a new committee member to the ad hoc off-leash area rules committee. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Martha, before you leave, at the last meeting you brought forward a proposal to put a marking on sidewalks to remind dog owners who might forget about cleaning up afterwards. And it's a serious topic. Unfortunately, we made a little light of it because of the character that was shown on it, and we apologize for that. We recognize the ad hoc committee was going far out of their way to make sure that irresponsible dog owners are reminded to clean up after them. And I encourage you to resubmit that proposal so we can take another look at it.
Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate it. Thank you, board. Appreciate very much all you do for us.
Thank you, Martha. Next is the ad hoc exhibit F committee. Barbara?
The committee has submitted a proposal for the board. We're changing the subtitle wording to be planning guideline for residential properties that contain any slope greater than 10 feet in vertical height in the rear yard. Maintain all plants, including trees, to be natural, mature size. Height of the trees from the base of the slope to the back of the house is limited to 20 feet. And we ask that you refer to the pre-authorized plant list for acceptable trees and plants. We're removing flat land behind the house, which is located under the drawing. Willis has redrawn Exhibit F, and it will be submitted. We're talking over there.
Sorry.
We're trying to change the,
Oh, we're still on the off-leash?
There's no off-leash. There's no
Okay.
Exhibit F slide.
And I do want to thank Donna Lewis, Steve, Ken, Neil, Karen, Len, John, Eric, Willis, Doug, and Bob for all of their help with the many hours spent on Exhibit F.
Thank you, Barbara. Next is the Architectural Committee. Steve?
We had a slight slowdown this month, and we're anticipating that's because of the Christmas season. Our numbers are up there. You can see our numbers. There's not a whole lot more to say about the numbers, except they're there. We're having really good success with getting what our homeowners want approved. We're able to look at auctions whenever there may be something that comes up that isn't very clearly within the guidelines. And of course, that's our goal. We've said that's our goal, and we think we're doing a good job of showing that. We encourage anybody who has an application before us to come to the meeting if at all possible. It helps tremendously if we can ask the questions, get an immediate response. We do try to telephone you if you're not there. And for anybody who's using a contractor who is new to the community, we'd love you to encourage them to show up as well. We are seeing some new contractors. We don't know why. And frankly, to us, we don't care. We think the more contractors that are involved, just like more homeowners, you see more things and a little more exposure to something that's new. However, when we have a new contractor that's not familiar with us, it's real difficult to get them into the equation and get their ideas out there. So if you have a new contractor, fantastic. We think that's cool. Just see if you can encourage them to come to our meeting so they'll understand our processes and what we're trying to accomplish as a whole. And that's it. We have our committee members. The board asked us to list our members and their dates. There are members, our dates. We have no members who are timing out. And we do have openings for more members. We'd love to see you. We'll be at the fair later this month. But if you have any interest at all, come see us. We'd sure like to have you and like to have your opinions. And again, we don't have an agenda of what you need to have done to be our member. We're just looking for somebody who lives in the community, who cares about the community, and add your input and your thought and ideas to help us accomplish our goal. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Next is Breeze Editorial.
Here's Hi, I'm Lori Larson, Chair of the Breeze Editorial Board. My privilege, I love it. We have 8 members, and I've got up there that we've got 4 new applicants. We actually have 6 new applicants as of this morning with our proofing meeting. So 2019 is bringing a plethora of people to us, and it's very exciting to have new people come. It's fairly rigorous to be a part of our group because we meet twice a week and do work in between, but those of us who love it really love it. We know that people do read the magazine because this morning we had asked people, during the past month we've been asking people who had been married for 55 years or longer to submit a form, and then this morning we asked them to show up for a group photo. And it was amazing. I mean, we got a stack of people like this tall who have been married for 55 years or over, and about 15 to 20 couples showed up this morning for the photo. And it was so great to see them. After one couple had been married, 65 years or something, and they were off going hiking this morning. It's like, okay, keep yourself in good shape. Anyway, sorry. So since we know you do read the Breeze, We do need submissions for our new column, which is why I love my club group or class. And, you know, not everything we put in the Breeze is a go. And if we don't get more submissions for that fairly soon, we will realize that it's not something people are interested in writing, and we won't do it. But if you are, do submit. And also, the pet, we don't have somebody who's going to be taking pictures of the pets anymore. So we do have something called Pet Parade, which is new, and you can submit. The guidelines are on the back of the Breeze or on the website. You can submit pictures of your pets, yourselves, the ones you like the best, and they will get published in the magazine. Not everyone who writes for the Breeze is an editorial board member. We do invite homeowners to come to a meeting to pitch an idea for an article or a column. You're welcome to do that, and we have 2 meetings a month. Our planning meeting is the first Wednesday of every month at 10 a.m., and our proofing meeting is on the 10th of every month at 10 a.m. And thank you. Sorry I went on so long.
Thank you, Lori. Next is the Communications Committee.
Sandra? Twice a month.
First time. Scary.
Sandra.
Yes. Oops, sorry. Okay, Communications Committee. I know I need this. We've had questions in the past about how secure our website is. And so Larry Workman, who's there as our webmaster, has informed me that we now have an SSL certificate installed. We had requested at budget time the $75 a year to have this SSL certificate. The SSL stands for Secure Sockets Layer. So I'm sure you all know what that means. And it's standard protocol for establishing encrypted links between the website and the browser to ensure that the data transmitted between the website and the browser remains encrypted. So in other words, it means it's secure, and because of the encryption. So you have no worries about using the website if you are using it for purposes such as paying your association dues, different reasons you're going into our website. The installed SSL certificate enables a secure connection, and the URL now is prefixed with HTTPS. So when you see that at the top of your address bar instead of HTTP, that ensures that you're now on a secure page. There'll also be a little padlock, a little picture of a padlock shown on the address bar. So that also means that the SSL is in action at that time. The www.fourseasonsbeaumont.org address now has the SSL protocol, but also the file server, which when you'll see sometimes up on your address bar, you'll see www.fourseasonsbeaumont.club. When you see that .club, then you're now on the file server, which is where we keep our important documents. So we store things like agendas, the minutes, the budgets, the election archives, proposed rules. All those things are stored in archives on our website. And so whenever you are clicking around on the website and you see the top say club, now you're in the archives. And so those also are secure. So I asked Larry to give us some more data and stats on the use of our website. So he gave me some stats on using that archive section. And he said he viewed the traffic on the file server analytics for the month of December, and it showed 1,136 unique visitors. So people are looking at those archives and are using it. 1,934 visits, 2,667 pages, for a total of 3,509 hits. So that's good to know that people are using it, so that tells us that people know it's there. And if you don't know it's there, now you do, so we'll expect more hits next month. The attached chart, which you don't, oh, there it is. I guess you do see it. The attached chart shows the file server data for each month of 2018. I know that's hard to read, but a copy of that goes to the board so they'll have that information.
So you can see how it really spiked there in August and December, which is very interesting. It shows August had the most hits with 4,150. The next graph shows the daily data for the month of December. And it shows for some reason December 10th, 11th, and 12th spiked with 321 to 486 hits. So what pages were people visiting? Well, they were looking at the proposed rules. That had 1,189 views. The proposed rules comments was also looked at. Other pages viewed that weren't quite so heavy, though, were the agenda, the activities, the flyers for Valentine's, HOA Docs Community Guidelines, the agenda, 2019 calendar, maps, streets, and trails were looked at, agenda and board chair meetings, and the HOA Docs Architectural Guidelines. So those things have all were getting hits. Larry also took a look at what kind of browsers people are using when they are looking at our website, and the most popular one is Google Chrome. 1,803 users there, and then next popular was Safari. So that was interesting. So keeping our website current is another issue. Every once in a while we'll go on there and look under clubs, group, and classes, and we'll see things have changed, but they haven't been changed on the website. How do we get those things changed on the website? We need the clubs, groups, classes, and committees to please send a written correspondence to our communication committee. Put it in writing so we can see exactly what changes we need to make, so we can make those changes on our website. Our goal is to keep it as current as possible and up to date. So if you have a change in meeting times or a change in a chairperson or a contact person, our website should be the most current because we can change that all the time. Where, for instance, the Breeze magazine is only coming out once a month, some of the news might be old before it gets there. So if we can keep our website up to date, it'll be much more useful. And so we must do this in writing to the committee so that we can make sure it's accurate. If you are interested in the workings of all this fabulous information here on how that all works on our website and how to keep it relevant, please come to one of our communication committee meetings. Apparently all of our members are terming out, so this will be interesting. Thank you.
Sandy, is there a waiting list to get on the committee?
Oh, no.
We understand that the people who are on there that are at the end of 2 years will need to be extended for a year since you have openings. And they are Sharon Bond, Brenda Butler Roberts, and Larry Workman. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe there was one other.
Who was the fourth?
Who was the fourth? Andy Henderson, yes.
Andrea Henderson.
Yeah, and Andrea
Yes,
Henderson.
yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if everyone wants to be extended or not. That's something that we haven't had a chance to discuss yet.
Well, we have proposal to extend.
I'd like to make a proposal to extend, as long as they're good with that, Sharon Bond, Sandra Butler Roberts, Larry Workman, and Andrea Henderson for the term of 1 year, 2019.
Second.
Moved and second to extend the time on the Communications Committee for Sharon Bond, Sandra Butler Roberts, Larry Workman, and Andrea Henderson. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to the Tropical Four Seasons. If you haven't noticed, we're having a little trouble with the AC in here today. Anyway, we're in the process of finishing the review of our first aid committee, first aid update to the residents of EPC handbook. We'll be getting together next Tuesday at the RCN at 10 o'clock. And we'll be trying to get some people together to work the committee fair here on the 26th. We want to put our heads together with a safety committee to come up with a joint program for the residents of Four Seasons. That's something that we emergency preparedness and safety of both, make it useful for everybody out there. And we'll be reviewing the latest emergency preparedness information to be willing to pass it on to you to prepare you to be ready for anything. Anyway, thank you very much.
Mike, wait.
Yes, sir.
You have 3 people on that committee for 2 years. Do you still have openings?
Yeah, I was ready. If we had 2 people come last month, I would have, the names would have been up here.
So do you want to extend Alfred Blair, Denise Featherstone, and yourself for another year?
Yeah, that's fine. If it's okay with them.
Again, if it's okay with them, I'd like to propose to the EPC Alfred Blair, Denise Featherstone, and Mike Mendoza.
Second.
Move the second to extend Alfred Blair, Denise Featherstone, and Mike Mendoza for another year on EPC. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Next will be facilities, Bruce. Can we modify that motion to be Marty Freeman and not Alfred Blair? I have late breaking news that it's Marty Freeman that would be the third.
Go ahead, Bruce.
All right, good afternoon. The Facilities Committee has 1 member leaving and no term extensions at this time. Lavinia, who was our secretary, leaded her 2 years, and she is retiring. She was our, like I said, she was our secretary, and John will be taking over that. He's on the Writers Club, so hopefully they'll carry on. It's kind of an important part. Also, our current members, I've been on for about 1.5 years, and Howard a little over 1 year, and John and Joe about 1 year in February, and Bob's about 6 months. We do have 2 residents that are, I currently have attended 2 of our facilities meetings that are interested in joining. And we have a 3rd resident who has been to 1 meeting so far. So we have a few 3 residents, that can restore and fill us up and get us back to our 7 or 8, that we'd like to have on the committee. Also, the craft room project, just an update, it started this week. The door has been installed between the 2, which is one of the concerns, but it went without a hitch. The cabinets and countertops and paint cabinets, etc., have already been installed in the old craft room, the computer room, any of the various computer cabinet stuff has been demoed and taken out, as well as some carpeting. So it seems like it's going along smooth, and get that completed. Also, as noted, I think, on the daily report, spa gym is the flooring will be next week. Be in there, the gym will down, I think, about a week probably with that. So that's it for facilities.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bruce. Next is finance. Barry.
Good afternoon, Happy New Year to everyone. Barry Genetti with the Finance Committee. My first thing is I have a caveat here. The numbers you see up there is the number for November, but my committee has not recommended approval to the board yet, so these are not to be considered etched in stone yet. So we didn't have a meeting in December to be able to do that. We'll be recommending approval to the board in January for this and in December. So just that note. There's a couple things up here I think everybody needs to know, and it doesn't hurt to reinforce. One is our HOA fee default. It's one of the lowest, if not the lowest, in the world. Our group here at First Services and the committee responsible for that does a phenomenal job. That only 0.5% are greater than $1,000 in default. We have some people that are over 30 days, but it's $219 now. But that's a phenomenal number when you look at the averages throughout HOA associations of over 5%. That's 10 times what we have. So that's a credit to them, the people who work behind the scenes that don't get the recognition for that. Second, everybody's aware we have raised the base or the major HOA fee to $219. And there's lots of reasons, and we put together a article for the Breeze that should be in the February edition. It sort of shows the process that we go through, that this isn't just something willy-nilly that we just say, yeah, let's make an increase here. It's based on good, sound information, trends out there, information we know that are going to happen. And there are a few assumptions that we have to make, because we don't know about some kind of rate changes that may happen with utility companies, which is a large area of our money. So that's there. You'll notice I put up there that last year, to be able to make the budget work, the operational budget, we shifted HOA funds from our reserve. So the $210 last year, $57 of that prior to July were going to our reserve. And we looked at our reserve as being adequately funded. And we said we needed some money in here to be able to look at the rest of the year and really see how much money do we need to really have as a fee. But we need to get back to getting that HOA amount. If you look at that amount, when we went from $57 to $17, that's approximately $68,000 a month that we robbed from Peter to pay Paul. When I say that, we took that money away from our reserve fund. So we can't keep it a pace at that. You say, well, that's good. We didn't have to increase any rates. But the other side of that story is if we keep doing that and the reserve fund falls below a fully funded amount, the next time we need a major expense and we go to that pot of money and it's not there, you'll have an immediate assessment for having that money. And it's a lot easier to make sure we have that fund there and cushion, because it's pretty expensive to run this operation and replace buildings and roofs and streets. So this year, in the 2019, we've taken in 2019, we've recommended to the board and they've accepted that. The fund will go back up to $37, not to the full $57, but it's going to go up to $20 more from the $17 we have. I'd like to say again, we do have an article in the Breeze. One will be this month in February regarding the budget process, and then there'll be one to discuss in March on the reserve and how the reserve functions. We have one opening on our committee right now, and our next meeting is January 29th. Please come. I say to come, and I say that all the time, but it really will dispel a lot of the rumors that are out there. And the funniest one I had to laugh at were some people came to me and said, my mother told me that the HOA fee was going to increase to $500 a month. This is back in December. I mean, people spread rumors. Come to the meeting, look at the planning process, and you hear this stuff, and it's a lot better than spreading little rumors down the road and they start to expand. Thank you.
Harry, you have openings on the committee?
I have one opening.
Yeah. You have two people who are the under 2 years, yourself and James Bombandi. Yeah. Do you wish to extend?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to extend Barry Giannetti and James Bombandi to the Finance Committee for the year 2019.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to extend these two members for the Finance Committee for the 1 year. All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
And I also wanted to know that Carlos Baumgartner was the one who has resigned recently. Thank you for his service. Next is landscaping.
Yes, and happy 2019 to everybody. I'm Lynette Simonson, Chairman of the Landscape Committee. And the plants are looking gray and drab, but that's normal because it's cold and they are in their dormant stage where they are gathering up strength to bloom in the spring. And we continue our Friday walks. If you like to walk, you might as well think about looking into the landscape committee because you get to see and learn a lot more and still get a good walk, and we have a great time on our walks. We have a principle that we've established in regards to replacing. the plantings that are only do well for a period of time. And since some of these plants have been around since 2005, obviously they've run their lifetime. And in replacing those, our principle is to do the plants that we have observed do well when they're thinned out and do well when they're replanted. And so that's what we are doing in many areas. So if you see some morellas and some daylilies and some garlic and some agapanthus, those are replacing a lot of the rosemary that is not looking very good, and we want to replace over time. Saves our money on cost of plants. And the snapdragons, I promised Christmas colors. Well, I was wrong. The snapdragons are at the front of the lodge, and when it gets to be real spring, they will really give us lots of color for us to enjoy. And we didn't have a meeting in December, and Herb Frymuth has been with us, and he missed his, we didn't have a meeting, so we're certainly going to interview him in January and expect him very much to be on our committee coming up. And that's about it.
Yeah, you have some members who are at the end of a 2-year term, correct?
Correct.
And you have openings to join the committee?
I'm sorry?
You have openings?
Oh, yes, I always do, because I have...
okay, so you'd like to extend yourself, Nancy Justice, Linda Ruoff, and Ken Marquette, is that correct?
Absolutely.
I'll make a motion to extend Lynette Simonson, Nancy Justice, Linda Ruoff, and Ken Marquette to the Landscape Committee for the year 2019.
Second.
I move and second to extend these 4 members just announced on the Landscape Committee for another year. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks
Come join us.
Next is rules and regulations. Barbara.
We continue to review the clubs, groups, and classes in our community guidelines. Cindy is on vacation, and we need to extend her time to meet with all the contact persons until hopefully the end of January, where the matrix will be reviewed and the guidelines reviewed. The community guidelines for the putting greens of the court, page 30, number 1. No other activities such as driving, frisbee catch, or picnics will be allowed. The rewording suggested by the putting group is that the putting green is to be used only for putting, no other activities. This is chipping, which is the new wording. Driving, frisbees, catch, or picnics will be allowed. And page 30, number 3, adult guests can participate, but must be accompanied by a resident at all times while using the putting green. The rewording suggested by the Putting Green Committee is putting group has requested rewording of guidelines to reflect guests of all ages can participate, but must be accompanied by a resident at all times while using the putting green during non-group activities. This proposal will be written and submitted to you for the next month's acceptance. Committee members, Margie Chadburn has completed her 2 years of service, and we're asking her to extend her commitment for an additional year. Barbara Miller has completed her 2 years, and she will extend her 1-year commitment. And Donna Lewis will have completed her 2 years effective June 2020.
Can you go back to the previous slide? The last word on that slide is accompanied by a homeowner. Should that be accompanied by a resident?
We're trying to use the word homeowner. If they're a renter, I guess, versus a resident would be fine too. If that.
I think it's more accurate because we have residents who are not homeowners, obviously with some rental houses. So other than that, that's fine. Now, the 4 people you want to extend are yourself, Margie Chapman, Donna Lewis.
Well, Donna Lewis will not have completed her 2 years until 2020.
So we will wait until her term.
Margie Chapman realistically has committed for another year, but she's going to stay on until we have at least 3 members, so we have a quorum.
Okay.
And then she will be on.
I'll make a motion to extend Barbara Miller and Margie Chapman for 1 year, year 2019, to the Rules and Regulations.
Second.
Moved and seconded to extend these 2 members, the rules and regs for another year. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Barbara. I believe that there is a safety committee member for the report, but there are several to be extended. So safety wants to extend Anita Worthing, Scott Britton, Mike Corbett, Jeff Wilson, Kay Harvey, and Susie Harmon. And they have spaces available, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are no people on the waiting list at this time, and they're short people. I'd like to make a motion to extend Anita Worthing, Scott Britton, Mike Corbett, Jeff Wilson, Kay Harvey, and Susie Harmon to the Safety Committee for the year 2019.
Second.
Moved and seconded to extend these members for the Safety Committee for another year. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. How about CP&T?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, CPT would need to extend Johanna Ballard, Willis Fagan, Colin Taylor, and Patricia Wayne.
I'll go ahead and make the motion to extend Joanna Ballard, Willis Fagan, Colin Taylor, and Patricia Wayne to the CP&T for the year 2019.
Second.
Moved and seconded to extend these 4 members of the CP&T committee for another year. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And then also for the social committee, they need to extend Pam Morales, Jeanette Pacheco, and Patty Spinoza.
Sorry.
I'll make a motion to extend Pam Morales, Jeanette Pacheco, and Patty Spinoza to the social committee for another year.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded to extend these 3 members of the social committee for another year. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And that concludes the committee portion. Next is our activities director report. As stated, Cindy is on vacation, so Sapphire's going to fill in.
Good afternoon.
Yep, well.
No mic out here. You want a handheld?
I'm not going to dance around like Cindy. I knew that was coming. Okay. Do you know how hard it is to track her with the camera? All right. So back for 2019 is the ever popular free event Gale Games. 4 Seasons celebrity panelists match game in the ballroom on Friday. These are hosted by Gail herself. Everyone is welcome to come, and there will even be prizes. Feel free to bring in your dinner and favorite beverages. We have a showcase event Saturday, January 26th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. here in the Lodge Ballroom. It's the 4 Seasons Club and Committee Fair. We are asking that all of the committees who are looking for members let me know that they would like to join, and I'll get a table ready for you. Let's see, if you'd like to explore what kind of clubs, groups, and classes are available for you to exponentially increase your 2019 fun and fulfillment, then this event is for you. There will be the cream of the 4 Seasons neighbors to get to know. Come on down for an interesting and informative morning. If you're a club, group, or class and still have not RSVP'd, please send Cindy an email to reserve your place. Social committee. January is a great time to prepare for laughter. The holidays are over, your money has all been spent, and there's nothing better in this cold, dark weather than laughter. You know Cindy wrote this. You can tell, right? You can hear her in here. Social committee took this under consideration when they booked one of the best comedians around, Mr. Ron Bruman, and his team of comics. As the ancient Mongolian proverb says, he who laughs much before the month of March is guaranteed a great new year, or something like that. Tickets go on sale January 21st for this event, and they are $20. There will be a DJ as well, and gifts, prizes. Okay. Let's see, Saturday, the event is Saturday, February 26th, and now you don't have to think of what to get your significant other for Valentine's Day. You can get them tickets to the coffee show. All right, so there will be club group and classes. There'll be a line dance sock hop on Friday, January 18th at 5 p.m. And see Martha Frank or Janine Rohrbacker for more info on that. Karaoke will be held Saturday, January 12th, this Saturday, 5:30 p.m. And what a great opportunity to warm your voice up for 2019 and come support your neighbors as they sing their hearts out. Thank you.
Thanks, Adler. Starting on pages 46 through 52 are the activity log and communication logs. From 53 to 69 are the communications received. It's just to review and file, there's no action. Next we'll move to unfinished business. First on page 70 through 83 is a review of the off-leash area rules. They have gone out for the 30-day comment. Comments have been received. There were, let me get back to that page. 23 who agreed with the rules and 5 that disagreed with the rule changes, or the rule additions. Do I need a motion?
We need a motion to adopt the rules.
Yes.
Oh, you need a motion?
Yes.
Let's see. And that's to adopt the rules, right?
Yes, to adopt the rules for the off-leash area that we do not currently have. Although we have heard back from the gas company that they want to modify the plans that were submitted to have 24-foot wide gates at the 3 fence areas and not the 12 that were initially offered. So there is some movement.
Did they respond to that yet?
Willis is working on updating those plans. Once we have the updated plans from Willis, then we'll send that back to the gas company and hopefully they'll approve the revised plans.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve the rules that have been drafted by the off-leash committee and have them go into effect. I apologize, I don't have them in front of me. I have the council in front of me. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the guidelines as submitted by the off-leash ad hoc committee, as written.
Is that adequate?
Yeah, well, I need, yeah, that's
okay,
adequate.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the ad hoc proposed off-leash area rules for the canine corral. All those in favor?
Aye.
Question?
I get it. It seems to me like we're putting the cart before the horse here. We don't even have a canine corral. We don't even have a canine area. Why are we voting on rules for something we don't even have?
Well, you know, there were rules for this HOA before the first house was sold. So when people bought a house, they'd know what the rules are. So if we're going to have a canine corral, it seems appropriate to know how it's going to operate.
But that's if we have one. We don't even know if we're going to have one yet.
We're pretty close down that road.
Yeah, and it's always, I mean, it's good to have these guidelines are written very well, and they deal with almost every possible thing that could occur. I think it's better to be prepared by having them in place than to wait to see if the gas company or the electric company approves anything, and then scurry around to have all these applications reviewed and approved. That's why I motioned it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Would that terminate the need for the ad hoc committee?
The ad hoc, for the rules? No, why is that?
I mean, as I understood it, the purpose of the ad hoc committee was to write the rules. We've just approved the rules. So I don't understand why we would continue having an ad hoc committee.
Well, I say that kind of depends on your answer to the next question that's coming up. However, the ad hoc committee has been working on creating a seminar and additional documents so that users can fully understand. And compliance with the rules as well as practices for rules enforcement, etc.
But if this committee is going to be a permanent institution, we should incorporate it into either the Rules and Regs Committee or some other place, because an ad hoc committee has one purpose. You've served that purpose and done a very nice job, but to continue as an ad hoc committee forever doesn't work.
Fair enough. I mean, we're game for any guidance you can give us. Fair enough.
Should we extend it for another month, at least until we get final word back from the gas company on the easement?
Okay, well, we'll extend it until we have a definite dog park.
Martha,
How's
while
that?
you're up, excuse me, Martha, you're up there, I have a question. We have a proposal for a canine council. That proposal, to me, looks like it's going to be similar to the Breeze editorial board, where you're involved without term limits and those kind of things. You get people that want to go on the group. It's approved by the board, and they can stay on until they want to get off because it's not a committee. Is that what you envision going from ad hoc committee that Lynn's saying basically is done with their work, and the council now that would normally, I think, would follow on and be like the editorial board?
Yeah, that is what is being contemplated, and the purpose of that is because management of a facility like that, where there are canines or something like that involved, requires some expertise, and we want to make sure that we have a continuity of that expertise. Currently, we have some really experienced and knowledgeable, certified even individuals that are on the ad hoc rules, and to have them available to us if and when this proceeds will be an invaluable asset to make sure that the management of that is done well. So yes, we have, it's sort of a hybrid, if you will, of the Breeze, how the Breeze editorial board functions, and one of the functions will be the ongoing administration of the various applications, which is actually more like architectural. So we are calling for that now, and maybe at some time in the future, it could be converted into a standing committee as long as we keep, interest involved and qualified individuals involved.
We'll keep you as an ad hoc committee then until we have a canine corral, at which time you'll probably be moved into the council, canine council.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you. Next on pages 84 through 94 would be the adoption of the section 4515 rules from rules and regulations. Again, this has gone out for a homeowner comment, and there were There were 29 that were in agreement and 3 that were in disagreement. This relates to the new civil code that took effect last year that allows homeowners to use association facilities without having insurance or other things. These are rules that were drafted in conjunction with legal counsel to help protect the association so that you can't say that you're going to have a political rally and then have a wedding or a birthday party instead. Again, these have gone out for a comment, so this would be to adopt these rules.
So we're just sending it out for comment?
No, these have gone out for comment, so this would be to adopt.
Yeah, we got the comments.
Yes.
29 for and 3 opposed.
Yes.
Not a lot of interest.
So we need a motion on the 4515?
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we approve per Civil Code Section 4515, the rules that have been drafted for us.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the addition to the community guidelines of Section 4515 rules. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And then on to new business on pages 95 through 97 are the Canine Council proposal.
This is the one we just talked about.
Yeah, this is, we're kind of jumping back and forth on this a little bit. So.
Do we want to, we kept the ad hoc off-lease in place. So do we want to just leave it that way and then bring this, or just?
Yeah, I think what we'll do is hold off on this until we have the canine corral.
Okay.
And then at that time, we would dissolve the ad hoc committee and approve the canine council. So we don't have both operational at the same time.
Makes sense. Next then would be on pages 98 through 100, a quarterly kitchen preventive maintenance program. This would consolidate several different vendors into one vendor, Tech 24, to do preventive maintenance quarterly on the bistro equipment that the association owns. It would also give us priority if there's any repairs and do inspections as well. Yearly cost is $6,346.92.
Okay, I have a question for Barry. What does this do to the budget that you've proposed already? It's an addition of $6,700 for preventive maintenance in our kitchen facilities.
From what I understand, this maintenance has been going on in the past. So that money is in there. It may not have a specific line item.
Yeah, there's not been a specific line item for maintenance. It would just be under repairs. So we're going to split this out to a new geocode for maintenance.
So the impact on the budget will be neutral.
Fairly neutral. The only thing I see as a change would be in the
Line item.
contract. In the bistro contract, we may not have caught that.
We have a proposal.
I make a motion that we accept yearly proposal for Tech 24 for quarterly inspections as needed at a cost of $3,173.46 semi-annually.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded that we accept the quarterly kitchen preventive maintenance program proposal for
$6,346.92.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next is the review of the updated Exhibit F that's brought forth from the ad hoc Exhibit F committee. This would change the wording on it to not affect some of the trees that had been in question before. As this is a change in rule, this will go out for 28-day homeowner comment. And I say 28, it used to be 30. However, California Civil Code changed January 1st to allow 28-day comment and not 30-day comment.
So the proposal is to submit this to the community for comment.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make a motion.
Do we have a motion?
That we send out the new Exhibit F that was approved unanimously by the Exhibit F Ad Hoc Committee for 28-day consideration.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to extend the revised Exhibit F out to the community for comment. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next item on the agenda is being pulled by the Rules and Regulations Committee regarding the carpet cleaning policy. They wanted to go over this a little bit more before they submitted it again to the board. And then the November 2018 financial statements, the Finance Committee still needs to review them, and then we'll bring it back to the board at the February meeting for full review.
Okay.
And with that, there's no further business. The next meeting will be Thursday, February 14th, Valentine's Day, here in the ballroom.
Aaron,
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Mr. Aaron. Barry brought up something.
Wait, hold on a second.
Barry brought up something in his comment that on the reserve allocation, last June or July when we voted on it, we voted for a 6-month process where we wouldn't take as much out of the dues and put it in the reserve. At the end of 6 months, that expired, and we said at the end of 6 months it would go back to be fully funded. But Barry just said that we're not going to fully fund it, it's only going to go back to $37. So if that's the case, we're going to need another vote to not fully funded to go from 17 to 37 instead of 17 to 57?
Well, no, the reserve study that the board approved and the budget that the board approved back in November put the allocation back to $37. That would, off the top of my head, keep the reserve study this year to be 114% funded, next year to be 111% funded, the year after that to be 109% funded. So it kept the reserve study to be funded over 100%, which is what the board and committee had wanted.
We'll remain above the 100%.
Well, I understand it, but I understand.
We won't be the 127 for it.
Well, I understand it. I understand the last time we voted to knock it back down from 57 to 17. And then we said at the end of 6 months it'll go back to the 57. I'm just saying we may need another vote to knock it back down to the 37.
The budget we sent you with the reserve study reflects that recommendation that you voted on.
In other words, if you don't take any other vote, that's fine with me. I just want to bring it up.
So we're adjourned?
Need a motion.
Need a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion we adjourn.
Second. Move second, we adjourn, all in favor? Motion carries.